Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and riveting and amazing Propagandacast. With me, your host, Imperial Day, and the one and only Master Propaganda here, like defender of the fatherland, off it all 1v1 on Pachino Stalemate. The North, it is nostalgia, fighting for freedom, democracy, liberty. Here with the US 1st Armored Division. What is he nostalgic for? I don't know, maybe Stu 42s and Hetzers. I'm nostalgic for that. But in the south, it is Ruby, fighting for the Deutsches Afrika, Germany, Deutschland. Setting forth here with the 15th Panzergrenadier Division, 3rd Panzergrenadier Company. We got some years here for nostalgia, and we got Panzer Pioneer there for Ruby. We're off here. As always, a big hearty thanks to my champions, my heroes. Company of heroes here will here of the Propagandacast. Support the Propagandacast via Patreon. Big help thanks to those who keep making the war effort possible. And a big thanks to commenting and liking on videos as well. Helps out immensely there, as well with the YouTube algorithms. Keeps the cat as well from biting off my fingers. And I do like having fingers, believe it or not. So we got weapon support and nostalgia. We got Ruby here with a spicy battlefield espionage pick. The Panzergrenadiers following up here, so off to the races they are. Both players kind of focusing more on the south here rather than north, which is a bit interesting because both players still, even after the main, so the south kind of has the same amount of fuel here as the north. There's still a lot of players who tend to focus on the north side, but it seems like both players kind of sort of caught on to the fact that, hang on, the south's pretty good too now. Yes, nostalgia is very quick to go. The south shall rise again. Anyways, the sun is moving on the center up north. Scouts poking about as well there. So grabbing that southern victory point center, we see the first shots fired. Panzergrenadiers encountering the assault engineers. He got a 30 cal on the way there for nostalgia, as he's gone for the weapon support center, unsurprisingly. No, use assault engineers for a special detachment attachment we needed rather than part of any sort of division organically, unlike the German pioneers, who basically were assault engineers, but organically part of like any division with various flavors of pioneer depending on what type of division. Panzer pioneers for Panzer divisions, Pachino pioneers for Pachino Jaeger divisions, and so on. Southside Panzer soon this one is here closing in there. Bringing hard with the M3 priest guns. Big pursuit here will be quickly getting some distance in up north here. Scouts bring on the center victory point here. They got 481 500. Sandbag quickly prepared here. Nostalgia, even as fighting is happening here, is quick to fortify the front line and prepare. Panzergrenadiers sweeping in there, 2 full squads of them. And we've got the light support company there for Ruby.
Combat engineers.
That's pretty much standard stuff in the sense there. And then goes what needs to overcome by German firepower, quick routed. Another 30 cal there for nostalgia, northern cut-off on them exceeds with the Panzer Pioneer. We're not surprised to see a lot of 30 cal set out of nostalgia. I feel like several recent episodes certainly I think made more than clear as to why they are popular. But sort of thing, we do have some barbed wire here, make it a bit hard to just easily get into cover against them though. Didn't have wire here, so that didn't quite fully pan out, and his Panzer's about to go up this one is. Really close call there. Can nostalgia get the white? No, the shots just fall short there in the end.
God damn it,
Also one pushing 40 up north, cut off one hit there though, exploiting the fact that they actually won the south to then go north. Thumbs up there to Ruby, medical station for nostalgia. We got the fast support and then so Ruby like going to go for that flat feeling half track, which is a very standard DAK meta game and almost has been for the entirety of the faction's existence in
Commander, it's done.
With some moments where the arc was a lot more popular, but beyond that, it's pretty much just been flat feeling all the way. Seeing a bit of damage, 30 cal, thanking here's the 30 cal of Black moves in with the Panzer Pioneer in tow here. Going in hard, we see nostalgia force time to make the hard receive retreat, rather than risk the 30 cal falling into the hands of the German. And then learning the secret force field technology that provides that damage reduction bonus. Email
They
info
have
reports
taken
underway
our
there from
victory
Nostalgia.
point.
All right, start filling those bags.
Enemy movement near a victory point.
Funk Panzerwagen, and we got there's some beacons there for Ruby.
Infantry, get to cover!
Got a point being threatened there in return by the Americans. Nostalgia, of course,
Victory point now under
pleased to
enemy
get revenge
control.
on his opponent for striking at his cutoff point.
God damn it! Fresh faces.
The new support center there almost done. Would not be surprised to see some half-tracks out of Nostalgia. If anything, I'd be surprised not to see any half-tracks out of him. We shall have to see if that's on there. Panzer being force very low on health here. Might be an idea to get them pulled back for an ambulance as soon as possible. Meanwhile, though, he could lay down some mines unless he's planning to like go for some grenade launchers or flame for something else. I mean, we already got one grenade launcher upgrade here.
Commander,
Ruby, in which case he probably wants mines on those because Nostalgia has 3 assault engineer squads. And I mean, yeah, he's gonna lay down mines. In fact, just as about to say he's obviously gonna lay down mines, he's laying down mines. Yeah. Ruby absolutely 1 in 10% should go for minesweepers on that remaining Panther squad, though ideally should also retreat it before it takes any needless casualties, because again, that's a bunch of manpower can put in saving, and you know, crucially, also stuff he doesn't defeat his opponent in terms of experience.
We've been granted accelerated vehicle production.
First vehicle production, there we go, half-track and rushed out for Nostalgia.
Abstract deploying, as
So,
ordered.
then in that sense, you can push off there, go flat filling half-track through the rescue. 142 to 434, pretty close in terms of victory points, casualties. Germans have a minor lead over the Americans. Meanwhile, Nostalgia's almost got the entertaining half-track ready. Well, it's going to take a bit longer, but he is getting there. He is getting
M3
there.
half-track moving to the line.
Taking half-track out, already rushing at the second one, because obviously, why would you not as Americans? Why would you not?
75 is in place. Half-track! Get us out of here!
Good shot there. Flak filling half-track, of course, having hit the mine as an easy target. That said, driving in so closely into the flak fillings for 20mm autocannons isn't exactly a tactical deal, as it rather negates the anti-tank half-track's major advantage, which is distance. That was a bit of a simple fact. There we go. Panzer's gone to hunt there. They've definitely got a Panzer to form the hunt
The
on
enemy
there
is
with a
moving on a
half-track.
strategic point.
The big target. There goes using the cutoff point.
Our territory's cut off from
Artillery
supply.
fire there from the anti-tank
Reconnect with it.
half-track with its semi-firing gun. Further south, though, Ruby has completely left the field open a line.
victory point is under
Nostalgia
attack.
to most
We must
democratically advance in the name of freedom and liberty and the pursuit of the American dream. He is gaining the
Captured a victory
other squad
point.
upgrade minesweepers. Thumbs up. Well, arguably again could have done it sooner. Transfer depot being prepared. Because obviously with the German army was known for during the Second World War was having such an abundance of resources it could easily afford to transfer. Anyways, building that transfer depot there for Ruby. Half-track's moving forwards. Moving in there and going for the flak feeling here.
Assault engineers have fallen in combat.
And lost and Sony sport there, bit of a painful over to Nostalgia. And democracy. Double entering capital blast away there at Ruby's flak feeling. One shot hits the other one, goes off mark, hits his family of squirrels. Quite long.
Fire free! On the hook!
30 cal lining up here for the secondary line of defense, so in case Ruby tries to push through, he's going to get a bit of an unpopular that. Far up north here, scouts busy in their own centre there. We got the bike holding off against 30 cals. South side, Panzer is poking forwards again. Another bazooka team on there for Nostalgia, not another one. Just use the bazooka teams by now, and remind you, sees a bazooka team and assumes, oh well, there's already like 2 out in the field. Obviously, that's going to be a third one. Obviously, in this case, it was not. I apologize. Again, it's just there are certain things about the USF metagame at this point that just feels very repetitive.
Bazooka squad reporting in.
Obviously, not only the USF metagame, but just stands out to be a tiny bit. Ambulance finally having there for Ruby Kid. I feel like that could have been out a bit sooner. Guess the question is, he's going to upgrade this to the Funkpan's bargain or keep it as it is. Scout's got drawn here back and dying into repairs, barely held together there by shoestrings and prayers. Maybe a bit of steel grit too.
Reports of enemy movement.
Double entering happening about here. Equipped with the same gun as actually being used on the Sherman tank. These anti-tank half-tracks, though, alongside the early model with the M1 anti-tank mounted on it, by the way, would be replaced once the M10 tank destroyers became available.
Beginning research.
And a bunch of them would actually just be sent to the Soviet Union, who used them until the end of the war. Others, I believe, were sent to the Pacific, where these were a bit more usage compared to some of the heavier tank destroyers, because they are a bit lighter. That's not to say they didn't use tank destroyers at all. Anyways, good shot then, Panthers there. Easy tags out in the open. As the sun being said enough. Resting on my shoulder and decides it's time to go other places. Ruby there rushing for the Panzer Commando, moving in for the bigger staff, trying to gently shove past the sides and doesn't block the screen. Captain there leading a small push in the center. Transfer depot there about to go kaboom. And knocked out there. Ruining's the day there for Ruby, at least partially. Ow, ow! Need to get the cat away. He's almost pressing on the power button. Not that the cat knows what a power button is. This is an important piece of advice for people. They don't quite understand the concept. When they do, you probably have a party. More time to go ready for Ruby. Far south here. Background points as Nostalgia has been drawn into the center here. Machine gun team there forming up a heroic defense, and there go M8 Scott on the way for Nostalgia. Find some close range to the 40-foot shot against Ruby and Deutschland.
Our opponent has all victory points under their control. Act now.
There we go. Trouble cap here for Ruby against Nostalgia getting a beat. And he's also got a significant advantage in casualties. 31 versus 13 is almost 3 times the casualties. Not great there for Nostalgia, to put it generously. And we got the incendiary armor-piercing rounds here for Ruby. Now, of course, these things did not actually exist. It's not that I'm aware of.
That's us.
That's the thing is they thought, well, heat rounds means that, you know, they like things on fire, right, boys? And they just implement it like that. It's such a weird thing. Another more top here for Ruby. No full punch back from just plenty of lateral support here. Scott there being engaged with the Panzer Jägers. Hits on the machine gun team here. Yeah, Ruby is about to hit that actual 3-to-1 advantage in KD. So that could get a bit ugly there. Goes right kick from the Pack 38 here on the Scott, lighting it on fire internally somehow. Of course, in the case of an actual fire inside a tank, the usual result is that the crew quickly jumps out before the entire thing blows up. Which is like the other issue with mobility like that. The actual assault would not mean to keep fighting. The actual assault most of the time and then get out of the tank as soon as possible. Unless it was a Soviet tank, in which case there's a good chance the hatches would have jammed and they couldn't get out no matter how hard they tried. Far up north here, Scout grabbing the fuel pump, then we got a Stuka as a first Ruby going. Hard Nichler here versus Nostalgia. There we go, he is now actually at a 3-to-1 advantage in casualty rates. Really looking rough here for Nostalgia. Something I think in some regard needs to change. I mean, it does have the victory point, which is good. Of course, it is worth pointing out he's Gali there, and he's like force-wise size, pretty close here to the Ruby as well, despite that. So I think that's also a bit worth pointing out that on one hand, this isn't ideal, but on the other hand, despite everything else, he's actually otherwise looking like he's not exactly in a bad spot, which I feel like is one of the things that, you know, highlights a bit some of the, you know, deeper issues in USF. Then it's Thing 58 was Thing 7. We got the Shrews first, we got Armoured ourselves on the way as well, going for the armor. We had it kind of got the advantage just if we start making even cheaper to reinforce, meaning this may actually end up mastering less.
We're losing a fuel point. A victory point is under attack.
Another transfer depot here for Ruby. Get on the munitions point.
Victory point now under enemy control.
And the point here.
We're on it.
One of our sectors is now in enemy hands.
This point actually has a 4-1. Oh no, it's not 4-2. Still avenging a steady 3-1 there, bit above that actually. Starting fortifying the centre of the mines, thumbs up there, excellent move, of course makes it harder for Ruby to rush in, but risking like, you know, being slowed down and suffering any casualties there. Though probably should be careful not to stand on his own mines with the grenade launcher chap walking about. There's some much worse. There goes Stukas at first. Ruby just wasting time barracks. I feel like she's done a bit more reconnaissance before firing entirely. Volume rockets is there's a fair bit of cooldown on the Stukas at first. So it was a bit worth there keeping in mind. Especially when he's got like 2 launcher halves that can just do the job without a massive cooldown attached to them. Meanwhile, Nostalgia with the tank depot on the way. That's going to mean EC8s here. Got the flag feeling half to now. That is a big win for Nostalgia. That removes a significant threat here on the field for his infantry support weapons. That is really good. And of course, with Ruby, that is pretty bad. Also, Northern Cutoff Point sees to almost grab the fuel point, which would really put Ruby into like a significant resource problem and confer, I think, a significant resource advantage to Nostalgia. Hunters around the center. Panzer Jaegers and moving across the center towards the north side, looking to reclaim that point. Of course, got Nostalgia ready with guns and fire. And Ruby again, despite this, you know, effective like 3-1 advantage, isn't really able to let project. It's actually a bit his problem right now. He might have such an advantage on paper, but he's struggling a bit to like really get it going. I can figure he'd also like just a better map control with this, but isn't. I do think it's just the way he's playing. Definitely, I think could be a bit more active, but at the same time, Nostalgia is able to keep him like somewhat fair at bay there. And did knock out the fight from half. Nice rushing in, the half takes slowly pushing in there. Scott is going to deal with the punch Eagles on Magnet. There you go. Good hit there from the Pack 30 on the X-Wing half takes. Got one of them. Definitely Nostalgia, I think, getting a bit overconfident and reckless. I do kind of see what led him to this. They're not exactly on the assault, but even with that, he's still got good pep control. So he will, of course, need to repair this. Tank depots up. Should have the command points for the EC8. Resource-wise, it's pretty close, and he's not too far away, I think, from having the command points, just being able to build the EC8s at a manpower discount. Meanwhile, Ruby here with the Panther 4, the Panzerkampfwagen 4, and some assault grenadiers running along. Something was not uncommon during the Second World War for German infantry run along on their Panzers or the Stubes. Of course, the Soviet army is very much doctrine to the point you actually have like tank handles held well done with the tanks for the infantry too. I don't think it ever got that far with the German army. It was also not uncommon for some times in particular, you know, dangerous chases with the tank to be used sort of as an ambulance to evacuate casualties. Some autocarriers in his memoirs actually mentions a few cases on the Eastern Front that actually like try to force with this tank, you know, provide cover and then load up the casualties onto the tank and actually like get them out of it. Bit of a fun fact there.
Sector gone. We must take
Super
it back.
Scotland in Punty in blasted. We got the 351 versus 244. Punty in a lot of trouble. And we got Nostalgia with a fuel cache. And the first ECA, of course, at a manpower discount. Veterans won and rushed out.
That's more like it. Sherman Easy 8.
Well, we also got Ruby being a bit more active. We got Veterans 40 as well here. Thumbs up. There you go, Brad. Peter's right. 50 cal there being added as well. But we finally get a 30 cal being wiped. Oh, actually, there's the second one. He just destroys it. It looks like he managed to just grab the other one as well recently. Not too bad there.
Losing a territory point.
That could be a bit more dangerous for Nostalgia, except he's got the EC8 on the field here and could probably replace the 30 cals fairly easily. Also just flop more EC8s. Relatively easy.
Reports of enemy movement near our victory point.
Obviously, I'm an expert. Smoke here, Void.
Territory
Probably
lost.
to help deal with the potential pack fading the line, which will freely move around the EC8. That's a smart play that Nostalgia, by the way. Again, just like policy again, like he knows he has to move down with the tank, and so he anticipates the enemy's anti-tank being around here, and so deploying smoke here, of course, means like even if it is there, and if it isn't, obviously great, but if it is, boom, he's safe. So that's some pretty savvy tactical plays. Like you make some deductions, some assumptions, and then you try to like make the optimal tactical move based off like you can like assume to be correct based on like various factors. So, thumbs up, Nostalgia. That was fairly savvy. Of course, in this case, it did definitely pay off. I was close to paying. Hard to say the actual fight there. We could see it, but safe to assume if it could have, that would have been definitely uncomfortable for the show. Yeah. Then you make the hand over the EC, you can obviously get having the advantage. Is very much the favourite in such a fight. A bit more fuel needed, of course, for another EC, but he easily has the manpower. In fact, he's not far off, I think, from just be able to like, go for 30 cal and then still be able to go for the EC as soon as he has the fuel. Which means that the potency catching so many is. Got moving in. Firestorm here for Ruby. Entering up to port with the Puntigers, bit of slip there on Nostalgia.
The munitions point is being attacked.
Munitions point being attacked.
Enemy movement near a
Transfer
victory
depot
point.
continues to do its work here. Scott gets it! Bit of slip Nostalgia line here. Ruby to get some good damage in. Definitely not tactically savvy unlike what he did
Sector's been
there.
overrun. It's theirs now.
Turn gun. Punished here. Ruby. 324 is 240. Another EC here for Nostalgia.
We've lost control of a sector.
Second easy ready.
Hell down!
Moving forwards.
Victory point is under attack.
That
We
was
must
the
act.
Panzerjägers.
A victory point is under
Scott
enemy
blasted
control
on
now.
north. You've got the super team here clashing in half with MP40s. Advancing with their schmeissers. We've got the Shermans to the rescue. Brad hit for the second strikes, I guess. ready to go in a few moments. Still a significant advantage than KD there. Second half pick down. So, despite that, Nostalgia still has a victory point lead here over Ruby. I'm guessing at this point the Ruby is saving up for the Tiger tank. At least more or less for pop cap. He's probably waiting for the time for, like, Suddenly Nostalgia makes a big push, suddenly gets a lot of damage, and then could, like, theoretically respond with a Tiger tank to turn the tide. Theory. Third, Bazooka team in for Nostalgia, obviously focusing hard on just countering the enemy armored vehicles. Swing in there with the Sherman EC8s. Fast and hard. That's the quick route and the heavy fire from the Sherman tanks and the 76mm guns.
We must pull this back. We're down to 300 points.
197 is for 226.
Enemy in control of all victory points.
Tanks, mortar half-tanks, looks like Ruby's starting to get more and more
Cut off. We have holes in our
ready to
front
sort
line.
of make a finishing push against Nostalgia.
Stealing our munitions point.
Oh, I saw this in the court got here by Ruby. Quick and brutal wipe there. Northern points still being cut. Already hit the cut-off point, denying access to the fuel point for the fuel cache. Bit awkward. Panther with couple EC8s though. Quickly damage falls through the tree there. No catches. This way 40, shooting 40. Hunting down the Panther force, but taking a lot of damage from the two mortar half-tracks. Further southeast scouts was the Panzerjägers.
Enemy movement.
From 1926. Not far there. Panzer keeping routed.
The victory point is under enemy control now.
Panzerjägers about to get wiped out here entirely. Another wipe here for Ruby. Seems like more and more slip-ups starting to creep in. Maybe it's a bit of exhaustion, maybe it's something else, but not great from suddenly like start losing units like that. But I mean, Crosby's just willingly sacrificing them. It's like, not population for the Tiger tank. Like, it's a blood sacrifice from something like, Abyssal Demon. Nostalgia there closely probing the front line, looking for the right place to strike with his tanks. He's flooding a fair bit of manpower despite, again, like, significant Gatling casualties.
We must do something.
And there you go, Ruby has managed to summon the Tiger to call it in from headquarters there. Found a 4th Schwer Panther Battalion transport Germany. He's going for a flank here. He can go for 30s here now as well. He wants to. He's about to hit the flank. We've got Pack 38 sort of catching on there. 30s here moving in. OD drives round to the final of Pack 38 here. Stoops with the court here. Almost had it. He's sending around to pull sort of causing the tank to burn up from the
German
end.
EC8 has arrived.
Tiger tank shoots, hits it. EC8 but barely does any damage.
Down to 200 points.
Misses. Blackcross round deployed there, forcing the Tiger tank into a bit of an awkward spot. Bazooka team's bringing in the sort of new support. 30s here awaiting orders. South side here, Ruby starting to lay claim to the territory in the name of Deutschland. Big advance and independent machine gun.
No longer under our control.
Shot fired, whiffed. More damage there. And then a lot of bounces. Wow. Pretty good luck there for Ruby. Now started withdrawing a bit here, waiting repairs for that Germany seat. We got 182, 226. Nostalgia is flooding manpower. I guess it's just setting up for the 4th EC at this point. Of course, make sure it's roughly close to enough population for it. Tiger tanks on the force, of course, any repairs. Otherwise, Nostalgia here definitely playing a lot more defensively, caging about here.
What's the word? We've been given a purpose, boys.
Did here. 4th bazooka team instead. Alright. Let's research the bazooka upgrade. Yes. I just want to make sure.
Start digging.
165 to 126. Hands Pioneer, they're getting sniped. Titan rolling 14, gating. You see it, shot. Further south, EW's engaging in some of the flank, which is quite exposed here. Single machine team out in the open. Wow, very lucky there for the crew, despite all those shots from these seeds. Didn't get wiped here. Up north, the Armoured slowly pushing ahead. Yes, these seeds push for the south side here. Fortunately, not fast enough to like really undo the southern flank here for Ruby. Yeah, there's about to get a posthumous promotion to Major, right? See, it's drawing here, probably anticipating, but now it's going to be too obvious where it's going to come from. Keeps pushing there, instead of withdraws. Got the munitions transferred there for there again. Second down.
Vector lost. No contact.
Send it falling to Nostalgia, Freedom and Democracy. Smoke around here again. Being running from another angle. Cuts that. Obviously this is ace out scouts. We'll actually get a ace flank. Wow, that doesn't bad then. Bazooka volley. Very lucky there for Ruby. 24.
Reports of enemy movement near our victory point.
Flying up Panther moving in.
The victory point has fallen into enemy control.
Standby fire mission.
Transfer again here. Get enemy munitions. And Titan engaged with 3 ECH, taking a fair bit of damage. White phosphorus shells here. Bazooka's also being engaged. Panthers taking too much damage out in the open. And they have to recruit for the white phosphorus. Put some further casualty inflict on the treating Panzer Grenadiers, making theoretically the wipe doesn't happen though. Bazooka rockets fail to match an impact on the Tiger. Very fortunate for Ruby. ECH was wing repairs. And Nostalgia. I mean, he has the resources for the 4th, but he does not have the population. Instead, he just goes for a Hellcat tank destroyer. I mean, that works too. We know he got 50 seats. Getting a Hellcat to back it up is, I think, a pretty solid combo there. Nostalgia.
Hellcat has been completed.
Troopers flying away there.
Routes are securing our capture point.
Machine gun wipe.
Territory isolated.
Right, this spot with the Hellcat, of course, also spots the Hellcat and returns, and now Ruby does know it's foot. Transfer depot about to get knocked up from this finish this time around. Hackford transferred up to do some crew too fast here. Down it goes. Big loss here for Ruby. Titan pulling back, not being trouble. Got white phosphorus shell there. Keep the Titan assisting in. The more Titan's about to get knocked out here. The Armoured Fist of Freedom punches through here. The nose of Deutschland. More units being wiped out here. Things are going pretty pear-shaped for Ruby pretty fast. Titans was a minor hit there, but certainly far from enough to like really hold me back in War Machine at this point. Tony's withdrawing.
Repair and refit at once.
Quick repair and refit line here. Start to repair his armor. The field without needing assault engineers. Tough spot now that Ruby's only lost a significant portion of his forces. He still has the Titan and before, but it's very short in infantry.
Defend our victory point. We're losing it.
Despite, though, he's very much still alive, impressively enough. Typically not expect to be still alive after half an hour in a match like this, but Ruby right here certainly is back in the trend. That set, with perhaps an error here, he moves in against the unit there, leaves the rear theoretically exposed. Lost this on news, but there you go again. Rear is open. Sherman's Hellcats moving in, so perhaps to exploit this. Finds a bit of trouble trying to repair, yet quickly realising we get the drawing, at least one of them. Oh, and they're white, and not succeeding with treating both of them. Misclick, maybe some great fun for nose. Bike hiding up on the north side here. 127, 205, looking even rougher now for Ruby, to be honest. Even rougher.
came through on the radio.
From Northern points, and now Nostalgia has managed to close the gap between the two in terms of casualties fairly well, with only a small lead now for Ruby, which
Orders have
against
been carried
USF
out.
at that level isn't going to be that much anyways.
Enemy CP in sight.
And assault news for Nostalgia to help prepare his fleet of tanks and tank destroyer.
Target secured. Making ready.
The assault engineers have... A victory point is under attack.
Bunches of
Must act.
the northern German there. Bunches of them in a bit of trouble,
Defend our
getting in the
victory
east
point.
level.
We're losing it.
Center falling to the back. See there we got a
Victory
third
point now
column
under
right in
enemy
the center.
control.
121 was on 99.
Squad is back to full strength.
More bazooka teams again here for Nostalgia. Just so many bazooka teams.
That wasn't so hard.
So many. And watch this double stroke here for Ruby. Two
Enemy
thumbs
movement
up.
near a victory point.
Wunderbar.
Captain and his retinue have been reported killed in action.
Captain completely wiped out in the base of the Stukas of his rocket strike. And I
We
think
have taken our victory
the bazooka
point.
team might have bit the bullet as well. They're suddenly down to just
Design
3
crew
of them.
repairs as required.
That was a pretty good shot then. Thumbs up to Ruby. 109 was 199. Poetic, got the team's been trying to finish it off here. Almost got it here, but that is one spongy bike, isn't it?
We have
5
100
health.
points remaining.
Territory belongs to the USF.
Center very much just left of Enfield Self there. Big push in center here. Stoop isolated with no good support is definitely Tenta right there for Ruby. Got it. Almost had to help Cap. All the bazookas, all the ECH now between the Stoop Tiger and the Hellcat. That was a lot of bounces. Good pop HVAC from Ramsey on the ECH he wanted to. Some trouble here, about to get knocked out, going for the Tiger tank.
We've lost an ECA.
ECA dump, he can easily replace it. He has the resources, and then some. Now needs to be forced to Stalemate to round out the ECA to reduce damage and penetration. Needs to turn them into Panthers, cheaper, and effectively better. And there you go,
Enemy
Tiger
destroyed,
down!
Commander.
Dude, down there, it is GG game over. A brutal fight in the end. Nostalgia pulled through for the power of democracy. So I hope you enjoyed this match. You'll learn something from it. If this is Imperial News, cheers and see you all tomorrow for another exciting episode. Bye everyone.